Traverse City Central Marching Band, our guests in studio tonight, and they were in a pretty big game tonight. Central versus West. You may have heard of it. In fact, you have heard of it. I can guarantee you that. You've heard all the stories. You know how important the game is every year. A lot being discussed about the 2-0 record for Central and the 0-2 start for West. We get a chance to see how the non-conference schedules stacked up against each other. Keep in mind, we haven't had anywhere near a blowout in this series in like 6 years. Titans on offense to start. Carson Rosa passes to Ryan Hayes. They're going to connect on a 25-yard scamper before Hayes takes a little hit out of bounds there. Keegan Keeney gets the scoring started for the green and gold to start this one. 6-0 TCW, but the Trojans have a guy named Devontae Walker, and if you haven't seen this guy run, you're missing out. From 7 yards out, he ties it up 6-6. Takes a little face plant there, but I'm sure it felt good. Titans' Isaac Flores now runs it in from 14 yards out to give TC West that momentum back. 13-6 the score at that point, but we're going to go in a little reverse. If you blink, you did miss that. Reagan Cotton hands off to Walker, and he's going to go 52 yards. He's not going to score. He's going to be brought down around the 2, but TCC would pound it in from that point, make it 14-13 West, though, before the end of the half. Rosa passing to Flores. That gives the Titans a 19-14 lead going into the break. Then second half, Rosa hits Sam Jacob. A big 30-yard connection over the defense, and Jacob likes what he sees in front of him. That's the end zone. That makes it 26-14. The Trojans were not going to go away tonight. Cotton passes to Terrell Solberg. 60 yards on that score, and we're tied at 26. We go to the third overtime game in this rivalry's history. That's where John Pupil, the 1-yard run for the Trojans, scored the game winner in OT, 32-26. That's also the 600th victory in school history for the Trojans. Petoskey and Cadillac opening up Big North schedules against each other tonight. Vikings still looking for that first win. Northman looking to bounce back after a rough loss to Escanaba. They do so, scoring on the first drive of the game. 7-zip right away for the Vikings. First possession, QB Ethan Baker looks to get the ball rolling, completes it to Tyler Berkowski, but that didn't last long. Second down, trying to move it down the field, but the Northmen, they're going to sack him down. Then Northman looking to score. Brent Murray sneaks it into Garrett Luntagen, carrying a few guys with him. Luntagen gets in there. Spin move, always good, especially if it's not laundry day. Got to move down the other end, though. They'll run it over. Watch out, Evan Whitmore going after our camera girl. Easy breezy, beautiful Brittany. 30 yards on that run, and in the next play, Vikings think they're gaining momentum, but it's intercepted by Luntagen on defense. The guy is killer from both sides of the field. He's a fighting Northman, you might say. Northman going to win this one pretty big, 38-13. Talking about Escanaba earlier, they're looking for their third straight win over a Big North team this year. Gaylord has outscored their opponents, though, 94-6 in the first 2 weeks. Blue Devils start off the game strong. Jacob Freeman takes the kick. Return cuts to his right, then his left. You never know, right or left, both good options. Finds an open seam, bursting through, giving Gaylord great field position. Then QB, the sophomore Nick Rowley, finds Freeman. Picks up another big gain, leaning on those guys early. Gaylord tries to run it this time, but the Escanaba defense, those Eskimos, when they pile it up, they know how to keep you out of where they want to keep you out of. Tough stuff there. It was a defensive struggle. Ben Fry settled for a field goal, a great field goal kicker for the Blue Devils. That score, 3-0 at this highlight, 17-7. Gaylord pulling off a nice win to end Escanaba's dominance of the Big North tonight. Glen Lake hoping to start 3-0. Laker Nation pumped to watch this one, especially their little Laker mascot there taking on Grayling. Second time these two teams have met in history. This one at Glen Lake. Start of the second half. Lakers secure an interception, but it proved costly because Ron Woyden and Nick Petrie are there for the safety. Makes it 24-7. Grayling not done. Cam Summers finds Petrie, and Petrie finds 25 yards and 6. That makes it 30-7 at that point. Lakers put something together, though they have to, because the mascot and that girl shaking her head there were not pleased with what they were seeing. Jarek Jackson, no relation to Jet Jackson from that old Disney Channel show, scampers for the 20-yard score. And you know the Lakers at this point, Jerry Angel, he's calling for 2. Jackson over the defense to Ethan Keys, 30-15 near the end of the third. Vikings, though, hang on to keep that score intact for your final as they win it 30-15. East Jordan coming off an impressive win over Hillman last week, hosting Kalkaska. Both teams look to make early statements in the NMFC Legends Division. Kalkaska, good QB play tonight from Suriname. Passes it to Matt Lehuski. On the next play after that, after we hear those lovely whistles, Tanner Scott scores a TD from 6 yards out. That makes it 14-0 Blazers. The Red Devils just could not get out of their way, their own way in a lot of ways tonight. Colin Shepard calls for the hike, and it goes a little high over his head. Kalkaska capitalized the mistake. They're going to get a touchdown on the next play by Lehuski to make it 21-0 at that point. Devils worked hard to try and stay in the game. Some nice hard running back effort from Jared Hoke. Could be Jared Hoke, could be Jared Hawk. I'm still confused. Jared, give me a call. Let me know how to say your last name, buddy. Ultimately, their offense shut down and QB call. They're bringing down the Red Devils QB, Shepard forced a scramble. Kalkaska wins impressively tonight, 33-8. Much more to come for the football portion of our broadcast this evening. I assure you we're not going to show you those Kalkaska East Jordan highlights forever, including a doubleheader from the Ski Valley and some Highland highlights, as well as action north of the bridge still to come.
Black and gold.
Traverse City Central, the Trojan Marching Band, in-house tonight, and they're pretty happy because they've won 2 straight now in their series, their rivalry series with TC West, and I believe 3 out of the last 4. So those guys are going to have a good weekend. We shift our coverage now to another set of Trojans, Central Lake. They're out to a 1-1 start, but a big chance to pull an upset and get back in the Ski Valley title discussion tonight if they could knock off Johannesburg Lewiston. The Cardinals, that's a tough team to knock off. 46 points per game so far this season. They wouldn't score 46 tonight, but they'd score a decent amount. We'll show you more right here. QB Isaac Mortensen for Central Lake starts things off. A bad pass, though, is going to end up in the hands of Cardinals linebacker Alden Nicker. You don't want to get Alden angry, because when you get him angry, he's just going to pick you off every time. The Cardinals then win the ground and pound game because they have the Huffs, and they're pretty dangerous. Left side by QB Brandon Huff there up the middle. Trojans defense wore down quickly, and on that same drive, running back Ethan May converts the right way. The score at that point, 28-8. There were plenty of ugly moments for both teams, including this fumble, though, by the Cardinals' Logan Huff, who coughs it up here. The Trojans, though, unfortunately gave up some key opportunities. A fumble on this play by running back Grant Papineau. Picked up 35 yards, an impressive gain. Unfortunately, just coughed it up at the end there. Cardinals, though, they put this one away with a series of grinding runs like we're probably going to see a lot this year. Huff again, Logan. They're sending it Brandon tonight. Maybe he'll be out next week. 35-8, the final. Joburg wins this one. Don't want to look ahead, but a lot of people looking for the league title to be decided in 2 weeks when St. Ignace plays the Cardinals. Saints down in Gaylord St. Mary tonight visiting the Snowbirds. Gage Kresge, the QB of the Saints. Nice pass to Brandon Oja. Breaks a tackle, gets a big game. This time, Kresge bootlegs left, takes it in himself for the 6-yard score to put the Saints up by 2 TDs. Now on the kick return, this is where the Snowbirds fly high. It's not even winter yet, but the Snowbirds are always ready to go. Billy Koenig breaks the tackle and drags a few Saint defenders with him, probably all the way to New Orleans if he had to. St. Mary then tries to fake the punt, but the Saints defense reads on it, jumps pretty well to get ahead of it. 46-13, St. Ignace staying alive in the perfection zone, looking ahead to that Joburg matchup in a few weeks. Manton Lake City starting out Highland Conference play against each other. Trojans' Cade Peterson's got the ball to start the highlight. Tosses a long one, but it's going to be picked off by the Rangers' Brad Dunn. He's going to get it done and settle nicely on his home turf. Wyatt Baker, then, the star QB of the Rangers, is going to find a huge gain here. Cole Shepler gets away from the defense and even takes a hit, but still settles down nicely there. Wyatt Bisbell, then, we're checking in on him for Lake City. Great reverse. Makes a great gain to get ahead of his defenders before getting dragged right around there out of bounds. Still a few yards. They wouldn't score. Justin Baller, though, Baylor Baller, working on the pronunciation. He plays like a ball. He returns punts like a ball because that's what he's doing here. Gets past the D and high-fives his own sideline probably as he gets to the end zone. Beautiful stuff there. 27-12 at that point. Trojans going to win 39-12 the final this evening. Newberry coming off a playoff appearance last year, off to a 2-0 start this year, visiting Bark River Harris, the Broncos. That was the fan base you saw cheering at the start. Newberry pins the Broncos with their own one right there, and the defense forces and recovers a fumble in the end zone. That makes it 8-7. Broncos only up 1. Second quarter now, Broncos get a little more offense. Ivor Stenberg splits the defenders, rumbles all the way down to the 6-yard line. That sets up a 1-yard score eventually for a 16-7, but the Indians get one back. John Paramsky sets up in the shotgun, tosses deep, connects with Jeff Rahilly for the touchdown. I wonder if he's related to that famous punt pass kick competition so well in the state of Michigan. 16-15 at that point. The Broncos return the ensuing kickoff for an 80-yard score. And Bark River gets the win tonight. They improved to 3-0, not Newberry, 56-34. That's it for me. I'm all done. One more time to the victor goes the spoil. Traverse City Central defeats West in OT tonight, and the band's going to play us out. The Trojan Marching Band.